My name is Tom Burns. I'm the Associate Vice President for PR, Communications, and Marketing at Niagara University. And I want to thank Bob and Mindy Rich, I know they're not here, and Bill Giesel and the Rich Products family for hosting this event today. It is a world-class operation, and when you talk about leaders in Western New York, there is none better than the Rich family and what they've been able to do in our community. Jamie's with us. Jamie, thank you for your help in that, and to everybody here from Rich Products. A couple other people to recognize before we get started. Food marketing came on the radar at Niagara University within the last couple of years, and was first headed up by the then Dean of the College of Business Administration, Sean Daly. Sean is with us. Sean, thanks for being here today. Sean has stepped out of that role, and the reins were picked up by Dr. Peggy Chung, and Peggy has taken this and run with it, and it's been a fantastic operation to move food marketing and consumer packaged goods forward. So, Dr. Chung, thank you this morning for your work. And that's all you're really going to hear from me. I'm just going to kind of introduce these great leaders who have really pushed this forward. And I'll start with the leader of Niagara University, the 26th president of Niagara, the Reverend James J. Maher, CM. Father?
Thank you, Tom, and thanks again to Rich Products for sharing this beautiful space here today, and thank you for all of you who've come out today to support this wonderful effort. I thank you, Tom. I also thank Sean for his work and Peggy Chung, who has picked up that good work and carried it forward, as Tom said. Niagara University, as you may know, is sponsored by the Vincentian Fathers and Brothers. We find our inspiration in a 17th century Catholic priest by the name of St. Vincent de Paul, the founder of the Vincentian community. St. Vincent was known as a great organizer of people. Of being able to bring people together from all ways and walks of life to form missions, to build unparalleled social welfare institutions focused around feeding people, housing people, providing medical care, comfort, pastoral care, and education. He was so good at it that the discipline of social work refers to him as the patron of social workers. But St. Vincent had another side to him. He had a business side to him. His biographers note that he knew where every penny in the ledger was for all of his works, that he was gifted with a great acumen for business sense. And that in fact, his biographers note that he actually created businesses in 17th century France, created wineries in Paris and beyond. And he created them so that his businesses could fund his charitable works and the Vincentian Social Welfare Network, which we would refer to it today. The late Sister Irene Krause, a Daughter of Charity, who was the CEO of the Daughters of Charity Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida, noted that St. Vincent de Paul created margin for the mission. One might ask, why is Niagara University involved in this project? And it's because we're Vincentian. And because we believe in creating margin for the mission. Not just our university mission, as important for us as that is, but for the mission of the region of Western New York. So we create and enter into this partnership with these wonderful leaders in the food service, food marketing, and food industry because we believe this project creates margin for the mission, this partnership. For parents who often come to our open houses at Niagara University, their paramount concern is, will my son and daughter have a career. And this partnership, really at its core, creates a career path for young people, the future of our region and of our world. It also provides them with excellent opportunities for lifelong learning, to be exposed to the best practices in business and in the industry, and to focus on economic and community development. We create margin for the mission together through a dynamic and creative partnership between higher education, the business community, and the food marketing industry. We, in a certain sense, feed each other. We provide graduates and student interns for the industry, and the young people who come to us get a world-class education, and they get to apply that education in places like this. Wonderful companies that are represented today, that are invested in our community, that are global companies, but who have a commitment to Western New York. They're fed through teaching, through service, and through research. And so we feed each other, higher education and the business community and the food marketing industry, as well as our community. Let me also speak about a personal hope that I have for this work and this partnership. In our own community in Niagara Falls, over 1 in 4 children live in poverty. Absolutely unacceptable in the land of abundance. I hope that we'll continue to focus this partnership for the business community, to drive economic development, but also to drive social development, and in a specific way, food security for those who live in poverty. This partnership has great potential to create abundance and bounty for those who live in need, to offer opportunities of education, to invest in emergency food and security programs, to build our communities, our families, and to make them stronger. You may have heard Niagara University recently launched a marketing campaign, The Power of Niagara University. This is an example of the power of Niagara University, of higher education working together with leaders and with industry to create a future for Western New York and a greater future for our young people and our industries. That's the power of Niagara University. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you very much, Father. It was great, just as you said that, the screen changed, The Power of Niagara University. It was timed out nicely for you. And Father's been a great leader, and he's been a proponent of this program internally, and he mentioned the collaboration with outside people. And our next speaker, Bill Chiodo, who is the Executive Vice President of Acosta Sales and Marketing, and the chair of the advisory board of our food, marketing, consumer packaged goods, and the Center of Excellence is our next speaker. Bill has been a great proponent, a collaborator. He has brought people and ideas to the table for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Chiodo.
So I was always told as a speaker, never follow a priest or a comedian, so this is not good. But thank you, Father. I couldn't have said it better myself. I was asked to talk a little bit about how we got to where we are today, and specifically the advisory board, and then what we're going to explain to you a little bit about, which is the Center for Excellence, Food Marketing Center for Excellence. But I have 33 years in this business, and what's surprising to me is if you look over to the display of products, these are all products that are manufactured here in Western and Central New York. If you combine that, which is food manufacturing, food processing, logistics, warehousing, that's about 17,000 to 20,000 jobs in Western New York. Then you take two of probably the most prominent retailers in the entire country, with Tops and Wegmans also based in Western New York. And that's well over 35,000 people that are employed in our industry. And yet, there was nothing for us as an industry, any kind of concerted effort to bring the next leaders and the next crop of folks that will continue to build our industry here in Western New York. So that was where the precipitous of this whole plan came from, was trying to kind of get the next crop, if you will, using a food term, of leaders into our industry. The advisory board, we actually began almost 2 years ago, was put together. It's kind of a who's who list. It was a lot of asking, begging, and pleading, but quite candidly, really wasn't a lot of pleading. There was an immediate sense, not only of community, but need for the industry and want. And this is my first chance to publicly thank all of the board members because it's been 2 years of pulling this off, and we have our first official class, so which is pretty cool. So thank you, board members. So, you know, we started as a board to help with the curriculum, and what was most impressive to me, and I think this leads to some of Father's comments, the folks at Niagara immediately understood that what we wanted out of the curriculum is to bring young people into our organizations that are ready to work. And that was very, very clear in the entire faculty and staff at Niagara that needed to be a part of it. Once we got to that, the bigger idea for the advisory is what we're also launching, which is the Food Marketing Center of Excellence. And what this really is, it's a way to pull together the ultimate collaboration, in my mind, of industry and academia, and bringing that together for the benefit, not only, as Father stated, the community, but for the companies that we all work for. We're all for profit. So there's a great opportunity with consumer research, package design, e-commerce, all of those things that we all have to deal with every day. So there's the opportunity for us to collectively use not only the faculty but students as a form of research and development of that product. Also driving summits where we can bring people from all over the world in to discuss that and benefit from, again, the size and scope of industry that exists here in Western New York. So that's really what the center is going to be all about, and you will be hearing more and more about that opportunity, and some of the members today will also speak on that. Because all of the companies in Western New York have a need. They have a need for ongoing development of their existing associates and then bringing new associates in. That exists here in Western New York every single day. And I think we're going to have an interesting comment from one of those students and how she found her way into the food industry, which I think you'll also enjoy. The most important piece of this is, I think, not counting on someone else to figure it out. And that's, I think, what I'm most proud of, is that we've collectively as an industry and with Niagara have put this together, and the entire community is going to benefit from it. So again, thank you for your support.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you for being here with us today and your leadership on this project. It is, I've been in a few meetings with Bill, and he's a tremendous leader in helping to bring this forces together. It's been very impressive. One of the notes that we have, that the data is not exactly recent, but it's within the last 5 or 6 years, is that there are 1,200 food and food processing firms in our region with more than 16,000 employees, which is very impressive. One of the reasons that this is a key and a great opportunity for us. One of the key places, we're going to go to get some industry perspective here now with the next couple of speakers, but one of the keys in those companies I mentioned is Tops Friendly Markets, and it's our pleasure to welcome John Persons, the President and COO of Tops Friendly Markets.
Thank you, Tom, and good morning. And Father Maher, Dr. Chun, and Bill, congratulations on this unveiling. This is fantastic. You know, Father, you had mentioned something about St. Vincent de Paul and how he knew where every penny was on the ledger, and he was a good businessman. I can tell you, I've known Bill Chiodo for a long time. He also knows where every penny is in the ledger. We choose to call him cheap. So with that, you know, on a serious note, I can tell you that TOPS is so excited to be able to partner with Niagara University in this program, and honestly, our other food industry peers. And I can tell you why we're excited. Bill mentioned about the need to backfill and to, you know, continue the succession within organizations. And I start with the premise that the food industry right now is in kind of a revolution. And there are changes that are happening today that are happening very quickly at a much more rapid pace than ever before. And consumer buying habits and dynamics, what the taste profiles are, what people are looking for is certainly different than it was 10 years ago, and honestly even 5 years ago, and probably even 2 or 3 years ago. Consumers are changing very rapidly. And for us to, from a retail perspective, for us to keep up with that, to be flexible, to be nimble, to be able to respond to what customers want, we need people that have innovative ideas. We need people that can almost think on a higher level. You know, certainly formally educated people within the organization, and the leaders that can continue to drive our business forward. And what's exciting us about the collaboration is that we'll be able to work with Niagara and, quite frankly, help develop some of those people, and selfishly pull them our way. And you know, I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to say that, because that's exactly what we're going to try to do. Internally, we're going to help design some feeder programs into the food marketing program at Niagara, and we'll be very active, you know, from this point on in trying to develop those people. And you know, kind of conversely, we'll be able to provide exposure to these students and people who are in the program to what's happening in the industry. Most people are shocked when they kind of peer underneath the covers of food retail or the food industry to realize how sophisticated it is. Some of the most advanced supply chain processes and techniques are in the food industry. Some of the most cutting-edge analytics, consumer behavior analytics, are present in food retailers. And when people are exposed and people understand that, it's exciting, and they realize, wow, this is an opportunity, certainly for people to grow and have a career and advance themselves and you know, advance their family. And we want to be able to provide that for, you know, the students at Niagara, the students in the program. Very excited about that. Additionally, the Food Marketing Center of Excellence provides much of the same type of kind of expertise, you know, as the industry as our industry peers come together, along with the faculty at Niagara. We're able to kind of really bring out and talk about some of the key issues and you know, develop some forward-thinking ideas. But more pointedly, what I'm excited about with the Center of Excellence is we'll be able to develop people individually. So if we're able to design the program, and we will, where we can develop and educate our associates or employees and associates at other food companies, we're able to help develop them in relevant topics in HR, in food safety, or other business programs. That'll be very important for us. Right now, there is a severe lack of that type of education for existing employees within the food industry. So very excited about that program. So we're very honored, TOPS is very honored to be a part of the program, and we thank you so much for allowing us to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thanks for being with us today. Some of the other partners in the program, you'll see when the screen comes up, some of the logos who are here on the food board, which is great to have that type of partnership. John offers that unique perspective of the retail side. And there's the manufacturing side in food. And we are here today, which is great to be at Rich Products, one of the largest privately owned food manufacturers in the world. And to offer some industry perspective on the food manufacturing side, it's my pleasure to introduce Jamie McKeon, the Vice President of Marketing for Rich Products. And our host today. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you, yes. And welcome to our living room and kitchen. You are in our new innovation center, which actually launched in June of 2014. We host a number of our customers here, innovate collaboratively with them. We love to co-create value for our customers, and so this is a space that we're able to do that in here in Western New York, and there are many locations similar to this across the world. I was very honored to have the opportunity to join the Food Marketing Advisory Board, as it was known at the time, and get to know many of the other industry professionals in the food industry across Western New York. I was new to Western New York in 2013. I worked for Rich's for 20 years, but was down in Georgia leading marketing for our consumer brands division. So it was a great introduction for me. The other thing that was really, really interesting for me to learn was the high concentration of employment within the food industry within Western New York, and the fact that the industry is very, very important to the economic vitality of this area of New York and the country. So that was something that I had not known before moving here. So a couple of things about why this fit for Rich's, and first of all, I'm very excited to have the opportunity to be Rich's representative on the board, but two things really. If Bob or Mindy were here, or Bill Giesel or Richard Ferrante, or my boss Ray Burke, and you ask them about what is the single most important thing to Rich's growth, they would say the people. And Bill Giesel often says that organizational excellence is the only source of sustainable competitive advantage. So, and organizational excellence, our people are really the key part of that. So we saw this as an opportunity, really to fuel our talent pipeline and more importantly, to better our community. So one of our Rich Promise, which is our set of values, one of our key promises is better our communities, and that's about time, talent, and giving back. And we all want to make Western New York more successful. And so this was my opportunity to give back, and Rich's another way that Rich's could give back to the community. So most of you know about Rich's, but just, we're a $3.5 billion global food manufacturer spanning 6 continents in 110 countries with over 10,000 associates worldwide. I'm proud to be one of those. We've realized really significant growth, phenomenal results. The family continues to reinvest in the business and to enable that growth, whether it's acquisition, new capability, innovation, et cetera. And we have very ambitious growth plans moving forward. We just finished our 17 to 21 plan, and we want to continue and accelerate that success. And people, quite honestly, are the key to that. And that future talent pipeline is really, really critical to our growth. So from an industry perspective, this program is really, really important, and it's important to Rich's. And within Rich's, marketing plays a really important role in that growth. And several of our marketing team members are here today. But we developed the business strategy. We helped to set the strategy. We shape the product portfolio. We drive innovation. It's our job within the organization to drive innovation. We build demand for our products. We create consumer and customer loyalty, whether that be through digital capability, analytics, all those capabilities that you need to drive that demand. But in the end, our charge is to really help our customers deliver fresh solutions to their consumers. And so that's what we're about every day. And having the right people is really critical in the marketing organization to that future success. And we have focused on basically building that talent at the lowest levels and then growing from within. And so we try to recruit folks out of, MBA programs, undergraduates coming into internships, and then groom that talent through our own learning and development opportunities. And much of that is experiential opportunity to really help enable that growth. So just to think about it, for us, this program and the Food Marketing Center of Excellence, obviously provides an opportunity for continuing education for our existing associates, especially as we get started with some of the programming out of the Center of Excellence, which I believe April is going to be one of those first programs. It provides great networking opportunity. It gives us the board and the Food Marketing Center of Excellence can help us with case studies, research, et cetera, on an ongoing basis. And most importantly, it's going to help to fuel and build our future talent pipeline. And you come out of Niagara not only with a sound business degree now and great leadership capability through their standard programming, but also the opportunity to have very specific curriculum centered around the food industry that better prepares you to come in and really deliver at even accelerated rate. So it's really an exciting opportunity for us. And there's no better way to demonstrate that than to introduce you to one of our own associates, Shannon Chowaniec, who actually is a graduate of NU and is currently enrolled in their MBA program, and she has been an intern with us for about a year on our pizza marketing team, and she's going to share with you her experience coming out of Niagara and into the food industry and the kind of opportunity that provides, and where she's headed at Rich's. So thanks, and Shannon, please join us.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon Chowaniec, as Jamie mentioned. Thank you for that. I've had the wonderful experience of being able to intern here for about a year now. I was just offered a full-time position that I accepted, and I'm very excited about that. So looking around, my first time walking into this building, quite honestly, was blown away. I thought I knew what Rich's was all about. I grew up in Buffalo. I knew it was a great company. My parents talked about it. I would drive down the 190 to school, coming home on the weekends, something, and I would see, Rich's on the side of the building. And I thought I knew what Rich's was, and then I got here and honestly had no idea. So I started asking a lot of questions. Thank you for the patience of my team for answering all of those questions. I started to put the pieces together about what this food industry is and the opportunities that are within it. So for me, when I first envisioned Rich's, I thought this is where they made the food. And yeah, they make some food upstairs, but there's a lot more that goes into it, and there's a lot more departments, and there's just a lot more that goes into it that I honestly had no idea about. I really did lack that awareness. So within the first couple of months of being here, I started to kind of put the pieces together. But then I started attending some meetings with Jamie, and I started to get the perspectives of the retailers and the brokers and the different manufacturers, and I really started to understand this bigger picture of what this market is in Western New York and the benefits that it can bring to being in this career and what it can bring to students at Niagara. So although I did not get the opportunity to be in this program, I certainly wish I could have been, Niagara really did give me that foundation of skills that I needed. I had a great experience in a market research class with Dr. Chung, who's sitting right in front. I really got the hands-on experience of working with an actual client, and I got to do focus groups, and I got to run statistical analysis, and these are things that will happen in this program as well. They are happening right now in the classes, and this hands-on learning was fantastic, and it's one of the elements that I think was most beneficial to my education, and I really wish that I could have been in the program, but like I said, it's those elements that are very exciting for current and future Niagara students. So thank you for listening to what I have to say, the student perspective, and I think Tom Burns is going to take it from here.
Thank you, Shannon. Graduate in 2016, right? And now working on your master's degree at Niagara as well. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. Pizza marketing, Father, that sounds like fun. Pizza marketing will be fun. Yeah, we got maybe a concentration just in pizza marketing. And it's interesting to hear Shannon talk and to hear Jamie talk about Rich Products and how large it is and the stuff they do. And Shannon saying, I had no idea. I don't want to tell tales out of school, Jamie, but one of the associates came down, and there's a box over here, wonderful food, of Farm Rich Bakery donut holes, and he said, I didn't know we did that. So they're there. I've opened them. They're pretty good. The next thing I'm going to open is from the next gentleman. Bob Denning is the president and CEO of Perry's Ice Cream, and he offers a unique perspective. He's going to give us some industry perspective. Of course, Perry's Ice Cream, everybody loves Perry's. Chocolate chip cookie dough is my favorite, Bob. And Bob also can speak as on the student perspective, because your daughter is a freshman in the program at Niagara. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Denning.
Thank you again to Rich Products for hosting us here today. Thank you to my fellow board members. I see many of you here today, and I know a few couldn't join us. One of the gentlemen being from Wegmans, I know Mike Keating had a personal engagement he had to attend to. And again, I want to thank you, Father. You talked about a mission, and clearly, you know, the mission, we can start broad, we can talk about the industry, we can talk about the globe, but we can bring this mission to local. And I have a very, very local story to tell you about, and one being is John mentioned my daughter, but again, the industry is growing, and I think that's the exciting part for us. In Buffalo and Western New York, one of my daughters has a T-shirt that says, "I lived in Buffalo before it was cool," and and by the way, she wears that proudly at Cortland. And my second daughter, Paige, who just graduated last summer, and now she's at NU in the food marketing program. And so that's my mission. My mission would be just for personally for my children. I want them to have choices and have options, where to go, where to grow, where to learn, where to be tutored, quite frankly. So then the mission goes even further. As a fourth generation family business, one of the owners of that business, we're not getting any younger, and we need succession in our business. So we're looking to the fifth generation of the Perry family, the Denning family, to take over. And so we're going to need 1 or 2 members or 3 members of this fifth generation. So that's my personal mission, is to have one of the fifth generation members. We're going to be 100 years old soon, and on a much smaller scale than Rich's, we're only $100 million. And I say that only, but we've grown $20 million in sales in approximately the last 5 to 7 years in some challenging times. We've added 75 team members, and quite frankly, our 17 to 2021 plan is pretty audacious. I talked to our team members about think big and then double that. So we're on a mission to grow to $150 million by 2021. So hopefully I can share this video with our team members internally. So we want to grow at 50% over the next 5 to 6 years, and we have a plan and a path forward to do that. So we're going to need the young talent in Western New York to stay here and to come work with us, come for an internship, hopefully come into a job in marketing where you can be a product group manager, a brand manager, a marketing leader, a social media leader in our business. You can work in sales. We have contract management positions. So again, much like John, maybe my mission's a little self-serving. I want to help our fifth generation develop and build a resume so they can lead our business. But I also want to find new young talent to come into our business. As I look at our population, I can see in the next 5 to even to 7 to 8 years, 20 to 25% of our team members are going to retire. And I don't think I'm alone. If we look at the demographics within the Buffalo food industry, we all know who we are. If you look out even 10 years, you could probably say 1/3. 10 to 15 years from now, 1/3 or more of our team members are going to be retired. I don't think I'll be one of them, but so again, the mission is very personal. As I mentioned, my daughter Paige, I believe she's student 1, so no pressure on her, but student 1 in food marketing. And I want to thank again the father, and I want to thank Bill for inviting me in. How would have I known 2 years ago how personal the mission would become when you asked me to join the food marketing advisory board? So those are my marks. And again, I just want to thank everyone for attending today. And this is a wonderful opportunity for our region to come together and leverage the talent and the time and the treasures that we all can bring together in this partnership.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for your words and for trusting us with your daughter up on the campus. I'm sure she's a welcome addition. Student 1, though, is a lot of pressure, though. That is a lot of pressure. A couple other people and companies I want to recognize. Of course, you see the partners on the board here. Lactalis is also a member of the Food Advisory Board. Great to have him here. And one of the members of the food board said, you don't need my logo up there, but should be recognized. Drew Surza, the Wing King, is on the Food Advisory Board. Drew, thanks for being with us today as well. That wraps up our event this morning. Thank you all for coming. With the panel who are up here, we're going to get a couple pictures in front of the screen as well. And then also all the board members. Would you please come forward, and Peggy, come forward as well, Peggy and Paul. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again to Rich Products for hosting us this morning.